Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 67th edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live from yours truly, Jackson Johnson and Trevion Ware. Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports will be here in just a little bit as we'll be going over our take on the rumors of Kalen DeBoer going to Michigan. Well, let's be real, that was never going to happen. We'll be going over all that, and we'll be going over our take on the rematch against the Oklahoma Sooners. And let me tell you, it's gonna be a good time for a long time for a wild ride. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing all right. It's game week. I'm ready to go. Ready to break down this rematch we got here between Alabama and Oklahoma in the first round of the college football playoffs, and also ready to put some clarification to some of these rumors swirling around the Alabama football program over the last here or so couple of days and weeks. So yeah, just ready to go here tonight for sure.
Oh, there we go, man. Like there we go. And before we get started on the game, there were some rumors that were going on. And we saw it yesterday. That official statement, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And he talked about it again today where he was saying, I haven't talked with anyone, no plans of talking with anyone. Like, what was your thoughts when seeing that official statement put out from Coach DeBoer today and yesterday?
My initial thoughts were it really wasn't a surprise to me for Kalen DeBoer in Alabama to make that clarification that there is nothing to those rumors, that they were all just smoke and mirrors, just simply because Kalen DeBoer in Alabama have been focusing on this first round of college football playoffs, and also just because it was rumors. They came out of nowhere, literally. Kellen DeBoer has said before, literally, when the Penn State rumors were on the rise, that he's happy in Tuscaloosa. Him and his family are happy in Tuscaloosa, and he stated this on various occasions. So I'm not really getting where all the Michigan smoke came from. Of course, a lot of those people in the in the north like to make like to make their own rumors, in the Big Ten and stuff like that. But I really didn't buy too much into it that Kellen DeBoer was going anywhere. Like he said, he had been stated that his intention was to be the coach of Alabama football. So I didn't really buy too much into it. Like I said, I was one to believe that they were focusing on Oklahoma. So to see him shut down those rumors, that was more so of for me, that was more so of them like a here you go, here you go. There's nothing more to say, like literally. So all those whispers that were on national media airs that were saying hyping up the possibility of that even being a potential option for Michigan. I'm just glad that that's all over with now that it's game week in Alabama can focus on the opponent at hand. So it was good to see that those weren't true, even though I had no belief in them. But it was good to see that Kellen DeBoer in Alabama are focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, I mean, because it was just noise, in my opinion. Like, like the stuff about Kalen DeBoer going to Michigan, this, going to Michigan, that. Oh, he's going to go Penn. That's just noise. That was just noise. There was nothing
Yeah,
real about it from the start. I never felt like it was real. And I know that some of the Michigan people are saying, well, of course he would say that because, it's the playoffs. Unlike Lincoln. Well, here's the thing. He's not going anywhere. I mean, who's going to leave Tuscaloosa? And nothing against Michigan, but nobody ever says, I want to retire in Ann Arbor. They just don't. They're not going to.
yeah, and then just like I said, on top of that, Kellen DeBoer had only been here for 2 years now. I don't think he would just up and run from the grind. I call it running from the grind if he were to leave Alabama for Michigan. 'Cause, obviously this is the harder job and stuff like that. The expectations are lower in Ann Arbor, but he's dedicated to this. Like I said, he knew what he was signing up for when he decided to follow the legend and Nick Saban. So it's no surprise that he's standing his ground and continuing to lay the foundation that he's laying at Alabama. So I'm just happy to see that he put an end to it because, like you said, it was just all noise, a lot of just smoke and mirrors. It had no real merit to it. So I was just happy to see that all those were just put to rest. And now that it's game week here, literally they play on Friday. It's literally less than 4 days away. So now it's time to focus on the opponent at hand. I'm just glad to see that those speculations and all those talks can be put to rest because it was really just invented by a bunch of people on the internet and stuff like that. Like I said, it had no real merit to it. Nobody had no real sources or nothing like that. So I was just happy to see the clarification on Alabama's end to, put an end to that because we saw that what rumors can do to a team. Saw what happened at Ole Miss a couple weeks back and how Lane Kiffin poorly handled the situation. So I'm just glad to see Kellen DeBoer, handle it in the manner that he did, and so these rumors don't escalate, and it's not more than what it is, rumors. So, yeah.
Well, Jeffrey, let's get to you. How did you feel about when you heard about those rumors getting shut down from Kayla DeBoer? Like, I thought that was pretty cool, but what were your initial thoughts when seeing that statement?
Well, my first thought is I love the Christmas hat. That's awesome.
I'm a regular Clark Griswold tonight.
So that's awesome there. Obviously, I've got the traditional Alabama hat, and I think it is well deserved because I am excited about the news that Kalen DeBoer did the right thing. I know it's hard to say, turning down another job that could pay you probably even more money is a bad decision. But I mean, I'm sorry to Michigan fans out there, but I think I would stay away from that program right now until they get stuff figured out.
Yeah, all the smoke they got going on.
Yeah, Alabama's a great job, and it's only his second year. He should not even be on the hot seat. There should be none of that. He's our guy. He's our coach. And like you said, Travion, it's great that he did shut this down so we can move forward, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, this week. We can move forward into next season as well. And we don't have the Lane Kiffin type stuff where it's like Willie won't he, and then eventually he does leave. It's a bad thing. The Lane Kiffin stuff was awful. Like I like there's nothing inherently wrong with coaches leaving a program or anything, man. But the way that was done was awful.
He did it.
It was awful. So I'm glad that we're keeping our guy. And like I said, he is our coach. He's a great coach. I think I still believe in him. I still have a lot of confidence in him. I am a little disappointed in the first two seasons, but it's not like it's been completely atrocious or anything. There's still a lot of room for improvement. We're recruiting well, so I do want to touch on this real quick. We got a super chat here from our friend Austin. Todd Simpson not being a Heisman finalist, I'm not shocked at all. I don't think anybody.
Yeah, I'm not shocked either. He played himself out of that.
Stretch eliminated him.
Yeah, he played himself out of that. Too many just lapses on offense, in particularly like we said in the second half, and it cost Alabama literally 2 ball games. So it's not. So it's not surprising for me to see how that ended. Like you said, the first half of the season, the second half of the season, those are literally 2 different quarterbacks. So it's not surprising to me that he didn't get an invite to New York this weekend.
Well, we appreciate the $3 super chat contribution, good buddy. We thank you very much for that. And just remember, for those tuning in to Crimson Tide Live all right here on Alabama Voice College Football, if you can't be able to become a YouTube member or put in a super chat, no worries. That is why you like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video or another episode whatsoever, all right here on Alabama Voice College Football. We are 60 subs away from that magic number 3,100. I'm running out. I got some Christmas magic from this hat, but I can tell you, we're gonna make sure we bring you nothing but awesomeness all right here, especially with this week being against the Oklahoma Sooners, because it's gonna be a good time for a long time. Gentlemen, I think we got a message from the great one. What do you think that is?
I already got an idea of who it could be. Real ball. He a ball knower for sure. So might want to have to listen to what he had to say.
It might be the voice of college football himself.
There we go. Roll it.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
There we go. That's where you get the Christmas magic of college football bets in the world of college football from BOCFB Bets, from Mark Rogers, Matt Zemek, Steve Dace, Corey Bratta. If there's under the radar pits of the week, Steve Merrill. We got it all right here. Well, gentlemen, let's get down to business. Let's get down to Brat's test, because it's part 2 of the preview of Alabama, Oklahoma. I swear it's like one of those 2-parters you see on a television series. Good grief.
To be continued.
Yeah, obviously some people say the sequel is not as good as the first one, but for Alabama, it's going to have to be as good. Obviously the first game didn't go in their favor, so hopefully the sequel can be better for Alabama, particularly on offense. But we're going to get to that here soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Travion on that. I mean, the thing is that I know Oklahoma fans are tired of hearing it from Alabama fans, but we should have won the first game. But we didn't. I mean, again, like a loss is a loss, just like a win is a win. But we outgained them by 200 yards. We played better than them the entire game, except we couldn't get out of our own way and kept turning the ball over just foolishly. The problem is that even though we should have won that game, it was a home game, and this is not a home game. We are going on the road, which I understand a lot of people are like, it doesn't matter that much. Home field advantage doesn't matter all that much. I hear that argument all the time. It does matter. It is tougher to win on the road. There are some random, bizarre teams that it happens every once in a while that have a better road record than a home record. It can happen, but it is very, very rare. There's a reason why teams are better at home. Usually the record's way better at home. It is tough to win on the road. And the last time we went to Oklahoma, we got destroyed. So, I'm like, it's not a lot of good stuff here, but at the same time, I mean, there's a lot of people that do believe that we will win. So it's not like we're massive underdogs. It's not like it's impossible that we could win. It's not like Oklahoma's been this dominant team all year. I mean, they've had good moments this season, but their offense is very flawed. I mean, if our defense plays very well in this game and keeps it a low-scoring game, we will have a chance, especially if you can somehow get first half of the season Todd Simpson to return. If we can get that back, I mean, if we can get the offense clicking and we can win this game, absolutely. So it's not impossible, but it definitely not great that it's on the road. Not great that for some reason it's a team that we've struggled to beat lately. But it's definitely going to be interesting. Can't wait to break this one down for sure.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And kind of like how we were Georgia's kryptonite until the SC title game, but we'll be back to being their kryptonite next year. But Oklahoma has basically been our kryptonite since they joined the SEC.
But who would have thought that? I mean, especially considering like everyone was like, "Oh, Oklahoma's going to come to the SEC and go 7-5 every year," and Texas was going to do better because of Sark, right? But no one was really high on Oklahoma. But to Brent Venables' credit, he's finally gotten Oklahoma to the point where they're good on defense. He, emblematic of the type of coach that he was at Clemson. Their offense is still not that great, but it's been good enough for them to win most of their games this year. They're 10-2, just like us, but they were able to win down the stretch, which is why they are ranked higher. They're the highest ranked 2-loss team for a reason. I don't think that they are necessarily, like the 8th best team in the country. I think they're very good, but they took care of business down the stretch of the season, and we did not. And that's why we're in this matchup with them on the road. So it's definitely interesting. I mean, Oklahoma's they've been a surprise in the SEC. They've done better than people thought.
Yeah, and it's just an interesting matchup to look at it from the standpoint that Alabama hasn't lost to a team, the same team, 2 times in the same year since I was reading something earlier. I think it was since the 1984 season. They haven't lost to a team in the same team 2 times in the same season. So it's that standpoint there, and it's also just a standpoint like Jeffrey said, playing on the road and seeing how this team, particularly offensively, has had their struggles getting things going. And adding the road element to the mix is just another factor, considering Oklahoma even said that it's surprising. Like they even said that they were going to cancel classes that day so that all their students and stuff could be there. And it's surprising me that Oklahoma is still having school at this point. Considering we're so close to Christmas and Christmas break and stuff like that. But Oklahoma students are going to be on standby on campus at that game. So the fact that it's a road game, that's just going to be another factor in seeing how Alabama starts the game off offensively, because that's what it was during Week 12 in their matchup. They lost 23-21, lost by 2 points, and they offensively that's the reason why they lost. Todd Simpson had 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception, and those 3 turnovers led to 17 Oklahoma points off of those Alabama 3 turnovers, and you see Alabama lost the game by 2, so that's really where the game was won and lost. So the fact that like I said, just going on the road and having that not having recent success against Oklahoma is going to be pretty imperative that the offensive things side of the ball gets going for sure, because like we said, just the being on the road is really that, going in Norman, Oklahoma, playing at Brent Venables defense, and him having the number on Alabama in recent years. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all avails this week.
Yeah, and we also had the added problem in the game of Talty too. He missed the field goal, and everyone was clowning on him for that. But again, Todd Simpson's mistakes and the turnovers in general were the bigger problem. But despite all that, if Connor Talty hits that field goal, we win 24-23. So since then, against Auburn, he did hit a field goal. And I think that is good, but I mean, we've got to be sharp in that department too, because especially if our offense is struggling and can't punch it in, there will be opportunities to make field goals. Can't miss any. We need all the points we can get. So hopefully Talty is in the right frame of mind for this game too. Because like I said, I mean, he had a big field goal against Auburn. I mean, I know it didn't ultimately end up mattering, I guess. But I mean, it gave us the touchdown cushion at the end of the day. So that was good to see. And it seemed like a lot of people, when he hit that field goal, were people are still critical of him, Bama fans, but they were like, well, good job. We're gonna need him probably. So we need a good Talty, we need a good Simpson. I think the defense will be there. But yeah, and you're showing the health too. That's Jam Miller, right?
Yep, that's the health of Jam Miller.
Yeah, showing the just showing the health of Jam Miller. I was just speaking on that video, showing the health of Jam Miller today. That was a shot today by me at practice. Alabama
Awesome.
looks like they're going to be getting the services of their starting running back and Jam Miller on Friday. So that's really big from an offensive standpoint. Also looking at Josh Cuevas, he was kind of limited in his availability in practice today as a full participant. He was kind of off to the side on the exercise bike, kind of working out those hamstrings and quads. So that's pretty. It's pretty much it's pretty much a wait and see game. But Alabama is looking like they're going to get a lot of reinforcements back on offense and defense this week. That should help them. Playing on the road and stuff like that. But it's just going to be interesting to see because, like I said, the game was won and lost by Alabama's critical errors and mistakes, and it's hard for me to imagine that Alabama makes those mistakes again and gives Oklahoma 17 points. So it just really just offensively, I'm really just looking for a better performance overall. Like I said, getting those reinforcements back on offense and having those extra bodies back on defense. I really think that should help things overall. But you got to look at it from Oklahoma's standpoint because they've had 3 weeks of rest because Alabama played in the SEC championship game. Oklahoma was able to sit idle these last 2.5 weeks. So it'll just be interesting to see what they can get going in their favor because they were missing some key players on their defense. I remember they were missing Mason Thomas. That's their most effective pass rusher, and Mason Thomas is trending towards playing in that game. So it'll just be interesting to see what Oklahoma can add from their side of things. But yeah, just been a long lead up to this game overall. So should be some key elements from both sides returning.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like the returnees that we're possibly getting back is contributing to the spread. Because right now Alabama is favored by 1.5, which I'm a little bit shocked about, honestly. With it being, on the road and the issues that we have had. To me, you would think that we would be an underdog. The way we've been playing lately. But again, they have a lot of confidence in our guys obviously getting healthy, which is a good sign. I mean, Jam Miller is our best running back. And I've said that all season long, which a lot of people have had thoughts about because, emergence of Daniel Hill to an extent and Jam Miller's, I wouldn't say lack of effectiveness, but he has not been the same player that he used to be. Have had injuries this season that have limited how explosive he is. But I still think he's our best running back. We need the pressure taken off Todd Simpson as much as possible, and I think Jam Miller best does that.
Well,
because Jam Miller, he's really the best running back Alabama has in terms of pass protection. And plus, the last time we saw him versus Auburn, that was pretty much his best performance in the second half of the season. We saw him rush the ball for over 60 yards on a good volume of carries before he got hurt. So he was really trending upwards before the injury. So hoping that his addition back can help this Alabama offense because they're going to need it. Obviously, the last time they played a football game, they had -3 rushing yards. So anytime you can get your starting running back, that's key. But I'm not going to pretend like they had a rushing game before that because to me, it's really also just going to come down to which team can run the football because neither Alabama or Oklahoma has a decent running game because Oklahoma ranks 106 in yards per game and Alabama ranks 117th in yards per game. So, pretty much both running games are kind of stationary in that regard. So it's really going to depend on how much Alabama can get out of their run game. We saw last time they had Jam Miller and Todd Simpson. They were able to use Todd Simpson's legs and stuff like that. So maybe they're able to expand on that a little bit more, and Ryan Grubb can get more out of him from that perspective. But and that's also something I'm looking to see because Todd Simpson spoke to the media today, and they asked him directly about himself, and he said he was fired up and ready to go. So, so that's also something good to hear. So hopefully, with that being said, Ryan Grubb can get the most out of Jam Miller and Jam Miller's effectiveness as a runner, and Todd Simpson can benefit off of that with his mobility as well. So that's also something I'm going to be looking for this week.
Well,
Absolutely. I mean, and Cuevas, like he is such an important part of our offense, and like
Yeah.
him being gone at the tight end position was basically a non-factor in all regards. I mean, it was against Georgia, but it just did not really show up. So it'd be great to have him back too. I mean, to me, it's like just taking as much pressure as you possibly can off of Ty Simpson, giving him more blocking, giving him more easy throws to make. Guys like Jam Miller and Cuevas were going to give you easy completions for Todd Simpson. It's been disappointing to me, though, this season, seeing how we've had this supposedly elite wide receiver room with Bernard and Horton and Ryan Williams, and it's just been so disappointing. And I think a lot of it is on Ty Simpson's regression in the second half of the season, but it's also like the receivers just aren't there. They're not showing up at the level they were earlier in the year. I mean, I'm not rewatching the games all the time, and I don't know the complete ins and outs of everything, but it's just shocking to me to see like the ineffectiveness of the passing game overall for us, considering that we supposedly have two of the better receivers in the country. Bernard was emerging to be a top guy, and he's just kind of not there. And Ryan Williams was one of the most electric players in the sport, and he's not there. And Horton's just a solid player, and he's been targeted more recently than the other two, it seems at times. It's just strange. And we had a lot of guys behind those three that we were touting in the preseason. Like in Mbakwe's, he got hurt, but and Cole Adams that could contribute. And there's just so many guys that we have. Latsier Brooks, and it just isn't there. And it's strange because I feel like our offense, if we have Jam Miller at least giving us 4 yards of carry, which none of the other backs for us really have done, outside of AK Deer in limited time, but still, if we can get at least 4 or 5 yards of carry on the ground, that should be able to open up our passing game. It should. I don't see why it can't be there. But it's just the regression from the passing game second half of the season has shocked me. And a lot, like I said, I think a lot of it is Simpson, but I don't know. The receivers just, I don't know. It's just not there. Then the connection's not there. They're not getting open enough. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let Jackson go in a minute, but you kind of said it just right there. I really just think it's just defense is not seeing that not believing that Alabama has a rushing attack because obviously what they put out on tape they don't have a strong rushing attack. So I think defenses are kind of not respecting the run, so that's kind of making it difficult for Ty Simpson to find some of those weapons on the outside in the receiving game, in the Jeremy Bernard, in the Isaiah Horton, in the Ryan Williams, and stuff like that. So the two go hand in hand. So I really just think that's really what it is. Teams not respecting Alabama's threat of a rushing attack. So now we're seeing, like I said, defenses cheat up and play the pass more. So that's probably what it is. But in terms of getting Josh Cuevas back, that'll definitely be key because Josh Cuevas in the game versus Oklahoma, that was his best game as a receiving threat. He had 6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. And I've said it before on this show before in past times. To me, I think that he's Ty Simpson's most trusted receiving target in the passing game. So it might not show in the production department in terms of stats, but in terms of who Ty Simpson's most comfortable with, I think it's Josh Cuevas. So if Alabama can get him back, that's definitely key. But overall, it'll just be interesting to see what they can make Oklahoma do in terms of offensively because in the Week 12 matchup, Oklahoma, they didn't drive the ball over 41 yards on offense. They got the ball on short fields each time. Their drives, they had 5 drives. One of their they had a 5-play drive, 23 yards. It resulted in the field goal. They had 87-yard pick six for a touchdown. They had 2 plays for 31 yards. The 31 yards was a John Mateer rushing touchdown, and then they had 8-play drive for 41 yards. So as you can see, they didn't score. They really didn't drive the length of the field. Alabama was setting them up in a decent field and scoring position each time. So if Alabama can limit those mistakes and make Oklahoma actually play football, because John Mateer, he didn't throw the. I mean, Oklahoma's offense, they were held to 212 yards of offense. That was the lowest output in a win since 2003. And John Mateer had 138 yards passing of that. So I just think if you just make John Mateer prove that he can beat you with his arm, that's really what it is. Just prove and make that he can beat you with his arm overall, because he hasn't really had to do so. I mean, and that's to credit of Oklahoma's great defense and great special teams. But like I said, Oklahoma's offense in terms of production, they haven't really had to do much. They haven't really had to score over 23 points to win a football game. So just cut down those mistakes and really just make John Mateer beat you with the pass. That's really what it is for me. That's really what I think.
I agree 100%. I'll let you go, Jackson, too. But I mean, to piggyback off that, I mean, you're 100% right, because we gifted them all those, possessions in their, plus territory. It's like if they had to drive the length of the field, would Oklahoma have been able to score the necessary points to win? Probably not. I mean, can't.
Yeah, they didn't prove they could. So,
but probably not, because, like you said, there was no evidence of that. So it's just really unfortunate, because we shot ourselves in the foot. If we turn it over 3 times in this game and it's all in plus territory for them, we're not winning. I mean, we cannot do that again. So we have to take care of the ball, like you said, because if Oklahoma has to score points, like 25, 30 points to win this game, and they got to go the length of the field, it's probably not occurring. So that would be very favorable for us if we just don't turn it over and give them the ball in plus territory.
Oh, agreed. One thing I'm a little nervous about is LT Overton being doubtful, as we saw a little while ago on Crimson coverage from our guy Brody Smoot. Shout out to the magic that he's creating over there. Unfortunately, it's not looking good for Overton. He's not going to be playing on Friday, but as long as he's healthy, he's good. We just got to make sure we've got the Nets man up. I'm crossing my fingers that Justin Jefferson can put a ton of pressure on Mateer. Like, that'd be cool. Like, and just like I'm just ready to see Yahtzee Pierre put some pressure on him as well.
Yeah, the LT Overton potential loss is huge. Just him being up in the middle, his leadership and just protection up front. Not having him, we definitely missed him against Georgia. So not having him, of course, that'll be unfortunate disadvantage for Alabama. But like you said, the next man up mentality is key. They do have serviceable players on their roster that could help fill his void. They're going to be getting Kirby Collins back, I believe. They're going to be getting forgot his name. Quay Lusar. They're going to be getting him back. They have some several defensive pieces that they're going to be getting back. So it'll definitely help in that regard. Like you said, never can understate the loss of LT Overton, but I just think overall, it's really just going to be like you said, putting pressure on Mateer and making him make decisions. As he make decisions, making him really just making him beat you with his arm, like I said, because he has shown no evidence of that throughout this in the past matchup. Like you said, Oklahoma rushed the ball for 80 yards in the first matchup. So and 31 of those yards came off of a John Mateer rushing rushing touchdown. So overall, their offense was virtually non-existent, really. So making Mateer really take matters into his own hand is going to be interesting, because I don't think Oklahoma has the weapons outside of Satania. They have weapons. Deontay Burke is a weapon too. Satania is a weapon, but outside of those two, I'm not really seeing any difference makers on Oklahoma's offense. Plus, Alabama has the corners on the outside, whether it's Xavier Brown or Damani Jackson or Dijon Lee and players like that. They have the players on the islands on the outside limited to limit those explosive plays. So I really just think like I said, just make John Matish sit back and play quarterback. That's really what it is.
Agreed. That's what you gotta do. But we're in some holiday spirit because we got some Crimson Tide merch, and it's magical. And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be fun getting the sweatshirt. Just kind of getting the hat, the t-shirts. I mean, who needs K Jewelers when you got Alabama Voice College football merch? We've got it all. We've got it all right here. I don't want to see another K Jewelers commercial. Those commercials are stupid. But
I don't think that they're meant for us though.
yeah, I mean, it's like, do I look like somebody that'd be wearing that kind of stuff? I don't think any of us three would be wearing that kind of stuff. That looks like horse dung.
Nah, but the people at home got to know that every game they should begin with a Crimson Tide live college football hat, shirt, mug, um, or any merchandise we have here. We got it all for you right here. So when you're looking at game day merch and stuff, let us be at the top of your list for sure.
There you go. And if you want some merchandise editions for Voice College Football that you want to send to voicecollegefootball@gmail.com, tell the Voice College Football you would like to see some Voice College Football journals and the Voice College Football dog balls. Because I can tell you right now, a Voice College Football journal will keep all your secrets safe, especially if you got something to vent about. There you go. Keeps all your inner secrets safe. All righty. So we got some players to watch out for from Oklahoma once again. And, Isaiah Satanga, we talked a little bit about him on the show tonight. And, maybe it's just me, but he was definitely the key to victory against Missouri and the key to victory against LSU. Not so much against Bama, of course, because it was like that Oklahoma defense putting enough pressure on us, and they were good to go. But Satanga has just been it's just been a ballroom blitz with him.
Yeah, he's one of the players on Oklahoma's offense that can really take the top off of an opposing defense and really give troubles to Alabama in the passing game. So keeping him limited is going to be key. He did some damage in Week 12 versus Alabama. I forgot how many yards he had, but he had a couple explosives. So in terms of keeping us Sataya in check, that's going to be key. Oklahoma also has they also have like I said, Mason Robinson. That's their best pass rusher. So he's looking like he's trending more and more towards returning. So if uh, his status is definitely going to be key to see if Alabama has to go up against him or not, because that's definitely going to be another problem that Alabama's offensive line has to account for, because in Week 12 they gave up 4 sacks against Oklahoma. So Mason Robinson, he also is somebody that can make life hard for Alabama in their offense. I'm trying to think of another Oklahoma player that
Thomas on defense that we have to watch out for him. Like he was a key point to that victory over Tennessee on November 1st. Like, good grief.
Yeah, and plus you also got to look out for Bowen. I forgot his name.
Peyton Bowen and Eli Bowen.
Yeah, Eli Bowen, the defensive back in Oklahoma secondary. He's caught a pick against Alabama in both years that he's played against Alabama. He picked off Jalen Milroe last year for a pick six. He picked off Todd Simpson this year for a pick six. So not saying that you want to steer clear from him, but Alabama, they have to. The receivers have to win their routes when they're going up against them. Because that's a good defensive back. You don't want to leave anything on the table for him, because he's shown in the past that he can capitalize on Alabama's mistakes in the passing game and convert those into points for Oklahoma. And also looking at another key player on their defense. A key player on their defense. It was the linebacker. I forgot his name. He had about 6.5 tackles against Alabama in the first matchup. I would have to look it up.
I'm looking at
he had
their
about
players. They got Kip Lewis, linebacker, Owen Haneke, Kendall Daniels. Those are all
I know when I
linebackers.
hear it.
His parents must have loved watching Kip or the dog. That's probably why they named him Kip, I guess.
Yeah, I think he was like 6.5. He was 6'4.5". Sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, but
it's got the list of the defenders right here.
Oh, there you go. I like that name.
Pronounce his name.
Sammy Sayo.
Probably right.
Oh,
Kobe
Lord.
McKenzie.
Yeah, it was Taylor Wine. It was Taylor Wine. You want to look out for Taylor Wine. Taylor Wine is a game maker for Oklahoma. He had a sack on Todd Simpson in Week 12. He also is Oklahoma's leading tackler on defense this year. So definitely want to look out for Taylor Wine on that Oklahoma defense. Like I said, him and Mason Thomas. Those are two of Oklahoma's best defenders at the second level in the linebacking core. So definitely want to look out for those two for sure. And obviously, John Mateer want to keep him limited in his athleticism. He can hurt you with his legs. Being a mobile quarterback, he had a 31-yard touchdown against Alabama in Week 12. So you want to keep him limited. Also in Sertania and Desmond Burke. You want to keep those two limited. Oklahoma's top two receivers. Those two receivers have the ability to take the top off of the Alabama defense and make some explosive plays down the field for John Mateer when he does have a chance to hit those. So you want to just keep those three limited on offense and keep those two on defense limited, especially in terms of Friday when you're looking at Oklahoma and players you got to watch out for.
Kind of like the Bumpus Hounds taking that Christmas turkey away from the family. We got to be like that with Isaiah Satanga. We got to be like the Bumpus Hounds against Isaiah Satanga, because if we double team on him and just keep our eyes on him, we are good to go. And like you said, Travion, you have to make sure to put a ton of pressure on John Mateer. Make him throw the long ball. Because, I mean, like the first few weeks of the season, he was able to throw the long ball, right? But then when he got hurt and returned in the Red River Rivalry, from the Red River Rivalry to now, he's not been able to be really effective in the long ball this season. But if you make him do that, you'll be good to go. You'll be really good to go. Yeah. But yeah, it's just gonna be, just kind of keeping an eye on what happens. But I'm just like crossing my fingers that we really get business done on Saturday. And, just like make sure Miller is doing all right, making sure Quebe is doing all right. Because I can't wait to just like put enough of a scare on that Oklahoma defense. Like this game feels like it's going to be a tight one, honestly. And we'll get to the position battles in just a minute, because those are going to be fun right there, the position battles.
Yeah, I don't have much to add for this segment. I mean, Travion pretty much hit on all the players that we should watch. I mean, like, they have a good team, but I mean, like any team out there, there's like 5 or 6 players that are key. I mean, they're 2 receivers. I mean, outside of that, it's a major drop off for them. It's been Deion Burks, it's been Isaiah Satanga all year. And they probably are better receivers than their statistics. It's just the fact that Mateer's not the biggest threat in the passing game. So I mean, he like I agree with both of you that, especially like you said, Jackson, like before the Red River rivalry, he was better. I don't know what with the injury, it reduced his ability or whatever. But
yeah, it was a thumb injury.
Yeah, it has not been the same. So I think that we have to limit his ability to run at all costs, because I know that we've had some issues with running quarterbacks, in recent years. I mean, Jackson Arnold just destroyed us in 23. I mean, it was ridiculous. That was their entire offense. So we cannot. I would rather them give up a couple big plays downfield in the air than Mateer having a field day on the ground. That should not happen at
Exactly
all.
what I'm saying.
So I agree with you
Like,
there. I mean, defensively, I mean, the Bowen guy, don't let him don't let him pick off another ball. Just don't do that. But I mean, I don't really have much to add. It's just like, we got to watch out for their some of their key guys. But I mean, at the end of the day, for me, and I know we'll get to it at the end, but Alabama's just got to take care of the ball. If we take care of the ball, it is going to be very hard for Oklahoma to win, in my opinion.
Agreed. We have to take care of ball, and we got to make sure not throwing away any. We're making some good throws. We got to be like how we were after Florida State, from Louisiana Monroe to Vanderbilt. We got to be like that. We do that, we're good to go.
yeah, and also just some key guys from Alabama standpoint. I'm not going to go with the typical key guys like a Ryan Williams, like a Jeremy Bernard. Yes, we all know that those guys have to step up and be factors in this game, but I'm also looking at guys up front, and this is going to kind of teeter over into our next segment when we're talking about position battles. I'm looking towards a guy like a Cam Dewberry, and also a guy like a Geno Vandermark, and I'm also forgetting the name, Jaden Robertson. How Alabama is able to adjust up front offensively, having all of those three players back. Because, like I said, in Week 12 they gave up 4.5 sacks to Oklahoma, and also gave up in those sacks caused two Ty Simpson fumbles. So I'm looking at those players. Like I said, Geno Vandermark, Jaden Robertson, forgot the dude's name.
Bray Hubbard's definitely a guy that's gonna have to take care of business.
Yeah, but I was speaking on like the offensive side of the ball. I forgot the
Oh
other guy
yeah,
just named.
yeah. All offensive line's gonna have to really take care of business. Yeah, because I know B Jamming is not too thrilled, and believe me, I don't think I've been too happy either. But it's just we
He
do have
says,
to.
B. Jammon says, I'm done with our offensive line, even though trying early to establish any run game. This year's O line has no run game identity. I hope that they block like hell and let Ty Simpson pick them apart, focusing on getting first downs. Yeah, that's definitely key because Alabama was 5 of 13 on first downs, and a lot of that's attributed to the lack of protection that Ty Simpson is afforded on those later downs. So I'm hoping that we can see some improvement in the pass blocking side of things because that's going to help set up the run game. So which is why I pointed out Cam Dewberry and Geno Vandermark and also Jaden Roberts as three players up front that are key because Jaden Roberts these past couple weeks and a half, he hasn't been playing as much as he should, and there's been some disagreements up front on Alabama's offensive line because I don't know if it's something going on with Coach Kapovich and his vision of Alabama's offensive line, but I've been hearing some things about Alabama having just some disagreements on the personnel up front. So hopefully that having all three of those back, they can turn to all three of those players and really that can kind of mask for some of the mistakes that they had in Week 12. Like I said, they gave up 4 sacks against this Oklahoma front, and that was without Mason Thomas, and Oklahoma's going to be getting him back this week, so that'll be something to look for there.
Agreed, no doubt about it. All righty, we've got some position battles to watch for, and afterwards we've got the score predictions to go for right here on the 67th edition of Crimson Tide Live in the Revenge Rematch versus the Oklahoma Sooners. And Travion, we'll start with you, and then we'll go with Jeffrey, and I'll go with myself for last.
Well, for this Alabama and Oklahoma rematch, when you look at position battles, it's a lot that you can go from across the board. But for me, I just like I said, I'm gonna just go off my last point, and I just think it's going to start with offensive line and defensive line. Alabama gave up 4.5 sacks. Ty Simpson fumbled the ball two times, and that was due to the pressure that Oklahoma was able to put on Ty Simpson. So getting things shored up front, that's going to be key. Another area that I'm also looking at for Alabama is also in that secondary. Uh, uh, Connecting on some of those long balls because Alabama had their chances in Week 12 versus Oklahoma. Todd Simpson targeted Ryan Williams on a long ball. He had a drop. Jeremy Bernard and Ryan and Todd Simpson, they misconnected on a couple long balls, and Isaiah Horton, he had his chances too to connect. So I'm going to be looking at how Alabama can really just exploit that Oklahoma secondary because I mean Bowen, he is a good DB, but Alabama has more. They have more talent in their receiver room than Oklahoma has talent in their defensive back room. So Alabama should be able to take advantage there. So uh, those 2 points really tie in together. If Alabama can, kind of protect Ty Simpson up front, and afford him that time to find Jeremy Bernard, to find Ryan Williams, to find Isaiah Horton, to find Lashir Brooks, and those weapons downfield, that'll definitely be key. So those two position matchups, like I said, up front, offensive, defensive line, and how Alabama is able to kind of win those matchups versus Oklahoma secondary, that's going to be key. And the last position battle I'm going to be looking at is special teams. Alabama in Week 12, they lost the game by 2 points. We saw Connor Talty miss a field goal. They would obviously, like Jeffrey said, he would have made the field goal. Alabama wins 9 times out of 10. But also, Oklahoma, to their credit, they had a 45-yard punt return that set them up in good field position. So, a position battle I'm going to be looking at is Alabama special teams versus Oklahoma special teams. Who can give their offense the best field position? Who can afford their offense the best scenario to take advantage of the elements? Because it's going to be cold. It's going to be weather where you have to run the football. And obviously, I've said earlier in the segments that neither team has a strong run game, but it's a difference when you're trying to make a drive down the field. You're going 90 yards versus you're afforded a decent field position, and you can kind of manufacture a run game in that short field. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alabama and Oklahoma fare on special teams. So for me, it's special teams, it's offensive and defensive line, and it's how Alabama's receivers can attack that Oklahoma secondary. Those are my three position battles to watch.
I mean, for me, I think that the biggest battle is not even a position; is turnover battle. That for me is key because we lost the game last time against Oklahoma because of turnovers. I mean, the special teams and the offensive line and all that stuff, it matters. But if we turn the football over, especially more than twice, and specifically how we turn it over, again, like Oklahoma won off a pick six. If that's just an interception, because where Ty Simpson threw that, it was an 87-yard return. So, like, if we had to tackle them there, they have to go the length of the field. They did not have to go the length of the field because they returned it for a touchdown. So, that was awful. So, like, we cannot turn the ball over in general. and we definitely can't turn the ball over and it result in points for them. Because again, they're not a great offensive team like we have become practically at this point. And you can't gift free points. Like if Oklahoma has a pick six on their end and we score off of it, or a scoop and score, then that increases our chances of winning dramatically. So the turnover battle to me on either side is key. I don't necessarily trust us that much because we have been turning the ball over a lot more. But I mean, we can take care of the ball. We are capable of taking care of the ball, but just especially in that Oklahoma game, and it was at home, which was even more shocking. We did not, and we cannot have those mistakes. So I think the turnover battle is the most important thing. Positionally, it's a cop out, but quarterback. I mean, if Ty Simpson plays worse than Mateer, which I did not think that he played worse necessarily than Mateer outside of the pick six, but the pick six was the pick six. But if Ty Simpson has a good game, no turnovers, couple touchdowns, and Mateer doesn't throw for much, and we limit him, from running much, I think that we win. So I think that, which team's quarterback plays better is going to be huge. Other position battles, our defense as a whole, like I know, again, that's another cop-out answer, but our defense is key. Like we have to limit Oklahoma. We can't let them score much because our offense is struggling big time. I think on offense, the O-line matters, but Ty Simpson matters the most. Having Jam Miller back, we're only going to get so much on the ground. It is what it is. We just got to get enough, but Ty Simpson has to play well. And I know a lot of people are blaming the offensive line, and they have had some issues, but the bigger problem has been Ty Simpson not throwing the ball away and not
holding the ball too long.
He's trying too hard to make a good play happen every time when you don't have to do that. You live to fight another down, live to fight another day, whatever. And it's, to me, he's the most important player because our defense is going to be good. I believe our defense is going to be good, and I believe Oklahoma's defense is going to be good. The entire defenses for both teams are good. Statistically, they are good. It's just offense for both of these teams. The turnovers and our quarterbacks. If our quarterback outperforms theirs and we don't turn the ball over, I think that's enough for us to win the game. I think that's all that you need, in my opinion.
Yeah, and lastly, Jackson, before you get to your point, with the spread being a 1.5 point spread, it is flipped and flopped this week. I've seen on some sites it's Oklahoma favored, and some sites Alabama favored. Time of possession is definitely going to be key because getting off the field on third down, obviously that has a big indicator on time of possession. So Alabama can't let John Mateer break their back with with his athleticism, just extending plays. So like you said, that kind of ties into what I said earlier, and it kind of ties into Jeffrey's point about the quarterback battle. Really limiting John Mateer and getting him off the field on third down. That's going to limit time of possession. So time of possession, that's definitely going to be key. So that's just another nugget to throw in there in terms of position battles and things to point out because even though Alabama won the time of possession last week, in the last match, Oklahoma had the ball 25 minutes and 32 seconds. Alabama had the ball 34 minutes and 28 seconds, but still the same. Like I said, I doubt Alabama gives Oklahoma three scores again. So if they don't do that, time of possession should outweigh those mistakes made last time, and that should be the difference in the game. So definitely want to get Oklahoma off the field on third down and win the time of possession battle and really just control the clock and keep it away from Oklahoma. Keep the ball away from Oklahoma. Really.
Well, for me, like the position battles to obviously look out for is how our CBs will do against Satanga. Because there again, we double team on him, we're good to go. And it's also going to be our defensive line before Oklahoma versus Oklahoma's offensive line, and how much pressure we can put on John Mateer. And then there's Alabama's offensive line versus Oklahoma's defensive line, because like how much can we protect Ty Simpson? That's going to be the question there. And can we make sure that Jam Miller will have a good rushing game on Friday night? Because if he has a great game, like say 125 rushing yards or more, that's going to be key to victory right there. That's going to help
Yeah,
the Alabama Crimson Tide.
yeah. I'll be honest because I obviously Alabama running game hasn't been what we've been accustomed to in years past. So I'm not going to say even a 125-yard game from Jan Miller. I mean, obviously that would be great. Obviously that would be a big part in leading them into victory. But I don't even think they have to have that. I really just think it's just picking up the tough yards in key situations. That's going to be key. And obviously, Jan Miller being back, he's going to help in pass protection and really just run blocking and also just being an extra trusted weapon for Todd Simpson. So I'm not even going to say a big rushing explosion from Jan Miller is needed. It's just him picking up those tough yards in key situations. Him and Daniel Hill picking up those third downs and when they get the ball on earlier downs, on first and second downs, making it second and manageable, third and manageable for Todd Simpson, so that they don't get into later downs and keeping them in ahead of the chains. I think that's key. Like I said, I don't think it's going to take a big explosion rushing attack because neither team has showed this season that they are, rushing that they that they have explosive rushing attacks, but just gonna come down to which team can get those tough yards in those key situations. So hopefully Jam Miller can do so.
There we go. Like, cause I mean, Jam Miller having a great day on Friday night, that's totally gonna help, and it's gonna be a fun ride for Friday night on what the position battles will bring. I've got a good feeling about it, but we'll definitely wait and see. Gentlemen, it's that moment of the show. Time for our score predictions. There you go. What do you think, Trevion?
Score predictions. Obviously, like I said, the spread is a 1.5 point spread. The game is going to be close. I definitely don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. Even with Oklahoma having some deficiencies on offense, their defense matches up pretty well against Alabama, and Alabama just the same against them on the defensive end. So, like I said, I think it's going to be a close game. I think I'm going to go with Alabama winning because, like I noted earlier in the show, Alabama hasn't lost to a team, the same team in the same season, back to back since 1984, I believe. And I don't think that I just think from like a player standpoint, I don't think the players are going to go for that. Especially like considering how Oklahoma acted after they beat Alabama. We saw players taking pictures on the logo. We saw players spitting on the logo. We saw, players just being disrespectful in different ways. So I think Alabama's going to come out with an attitude. I think they're going to come out with a purpose. Just all this distraction over the last 2.5 weeks has been, does Alabama deserve to even be in the playoff? People have been trying to pooch away their coach. People have been saying that Alabama just isn't the same. Nobody fears Alabama. Of course, the talk after losing to Georgia, people were saying that, like I was saying, people were saying that Alabama just isn't a playoff team. So I just think with all the noise accumulated over the past 2.5 weeks and just Oklahoma, the way things went down in Tuscaloosa in Week 12 during the regular season, I think that Alabama will have the mental fortitude and have the mental focus and everything that they need to really go out into Norman and handle business. So I'm really looking at it from like a score perspective. I'm looking at Alabama being able to pull it out. I'm thinking it's going to be like a 24. I'm thinking it's going to be Alabama wins 28-17 or 28-24. So, dang, but I had to give y'all an official one. So, I'm gonna go with Alabama 28 and Oklahoma 20. So I know that was kind of different for what I just gave out, but I'm thinking Alabama is gonna win. I think they should be able to to outscore them because, like we said, they have the weapons offensively to crack this game open. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, like I said, but I'm going to give Alabama the win, 28-20.
Jeffrey, your dad's.
I think an interesting thing that you said, Travion, was how, what Oklahoma did, after the game, disrespecting and stuff like that. I would hope that Alabama used that as fuel to win. But I thought in week one, it was week one, but I thought when Castellanos ran his mouth in the offseason that we would use that as fuel, and we did not. So chance this time to actually do that. When other teams are disrespectful, when other teams do stuff like that should motivate. That should make you want to pound them. I'm sorry, but I mean, the Florida State effort. I mean, if we had lost that game, okay, but the fact we lost like that, I know it was week one, after he said those things, that's just unreal. I think a very interesting part. Go ahead, Travion.
And before you go forward, I think it's going to be taken more into account because Justin Jefferson has gone on the record since over the last week and a half, and reporters have asked him about Oklahoma and how the players acted since. And I mean, they kind of said the same thing they said versus Oklahoma State versus Florida State that is going to be addressed on the field. So, but I would think that they would take more seriousness to this, considering that it happened on their own territory, on their own turf. So I'm of the belief that they're taking this more serious. Like I said, it's kind of do or die in the playoff situation. So I'm hoping that factor also plays a part into their mentality coming into the game. Yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely hope so, for sure. I think an interesting part of this game is looking at the spread. And when you look at this over-under at 40, so, I mean, clearly Vegas is saying, these two teams not that great offensively. So it's going to be a low-scoring game, which is just so strange when talking about Alabama, because you think about how many seasons in the past, especially under the later years of Saban, like Kiffin onward, that we were so explosive offensively, that now we're in games with spreads that are looking more like an Iowa game. That's just kind of weird. And granted, Oklahoma being the type team they are as well, is contributing to that spread. But that is a very low spread for Alabama. I mean, this is reminiscent of like early Saban, when we were winning games 9-6 type of stuff. It's kind of wild. So it could be a very low scoring game. Like, it could be very low. I don't know how low. Obviously, can't predict the future. I'll make my best prediction in a second. But, I mean, it would be wild if this is like a 10-7 game. That would be crazy because it has the potential to do that. Go ahead.
My bad, Jeffrey. I'm reserved to change my prediction. Instead, after seeing those numbers and everything, I think it's going to be a four-quarter game. I think it's going to be come down to the last possession. So I'm going to redo my prediction. I think Alabama wins 20-17, considering the over/under was 40 and 20-17 will keep it under that. And the total will be 37 points. So I just think with the elements of cold Friday night in Norman, I think it's going to be a defensive game, a chess match between Ben Variables and Kane Warmack. So I think that Alabama is either going to have to win late with Ty Simpson. I'm hoping that it doesn't come down to kind of talky, but I think it's going to be a 17-20 type of game. I'm going to pick Alabama to win. I think Alabama should, like I said, just have the motivation to do what they got to do. Plus, Alabama haven't lost to the same team in the same season since the 1984 season. So that's my recap and that's my second take on the score. So 20-17, Alabama winning. It's my final prediction. That's it. So my bad interrupting you, Jeffrey. You got the floor. Give it to Jackson next, and that's going to be it. Yeah.
Oh, you're good, Travion. Definitely funny if you pull up the over/under and make you reconsider the score prediction. That's funny. I mean, it's kind of in the neighborhood of what I'm thinking. I rarely ever pick
Yeah.
games to be like 10-7. They happen. They still happen in the year
Mhm.
2025. But still, like it's very hard to predict something that low. But I do think there's a better chance the game is of a score like that than 35-31. I'll be shocked if there's that many points. So I'm definitely going to predict on the lower side. I mean, it's on the road. I'm worried about the road atmosphere. I'm worried about us. Like our team is not playing all that well. But the thing is that this is the playoffs. There's a lot of pride here. We've lost to Oklahoma this season, the year before as well. All that going on. I think they are going to be fired up. I'm just so intrigued to see Ty Simpson. Is he finally going to have a game even close to early season Ty Simpson? I mean, everybody keeps talking about, is he hurt? I've heard rumors about that. What's going on? I don't know. I'm not there. I have no idea. He looks okay to me, but his play is not. And if he plays bad, we're not going to win. I mean, I'm so tempted to just give it to the Sooners, but I think that we're the better team on a good day. I really do think that we're a better team on a good day. We just haven't seen our best in a long time. So it worries me. I mean, our best game in a month and a half has been against an FCS team, and we were supposed to do that. Other than that, I mean, we have not looked good. LSU was poor. Georgia, obviously, in the championship game was terrible. Auburn wasn't that great. Oklahoma was not that great. So I'm not very confident in us, but I don't think Oklahoma is an elite team. I don't. I think they are solid. I think that defensively they're very good, but they're not an elite team. I don't think really we are either. I think at our best we could be, but I think Alabama's going to win 17-14. I'll go pretty low. I was gonna 20-17 felt right, but I don't want to do the same prediction.
Yeah.
So I'll go 17-14. I think that Talty does hit a field goal in the game, and I think that Alabama finds a way to win because we don't turn it over that much. I think we might turn it over once, but we're not going to turn it over enough where we'll lose. Yeah, I mean, I think both teams have pretty darn good defenses. I just don't think either team is elite. They've neither team to me. Elite is a rare air word. I mean, you're reserving that. You can't just throw it around. I mean, if we're going to say Alabama and Oklahoma are elite, then we're saying that a team like Miami's elite or Notre Dame, and none of these teams are elite, right? Elite is Ohio State, Georgia, IU this season.
We'll be able to find out if Oklahoma or Alabama is elite because the winner is going to play Indiana in the quarterfinal at the Rose Bowl. So that's going to be the deciding factor there. So, but to your point, like we said, this defense has played at a high level, but the downfall has been the offense. So neither team has shown they can be elite on either side of the ball. So it'll be interesting to see what team can put the better effort together on both sides of the ball and special teams, because that's probably going to be the team that advances 9 times out of 10. I don't think we're going to see a lopsided game where a team is gifted 3 turnovers again and wins the game. So like you said, it's going to be interesting to see what team can play the best overall on all facets of the game.
There we go. Well, I've been really thinking about this, and we know it's not going to be a first to 30 because neither one of these teams are going to get the 30 points. It's basically going to be a first to 24 or more wins this one. That's what it's going to be, because I mean that's what it was last time out. I think it's going to be like that again. And you know what? I like the Santa hat, but I'm going with the Bama hat. I got Alabama winning 24-17 over the Oklahoma Sooners on Friday night. Gonna get it done. Got business to take care of. Getting some revenge. Nobody is stomping on the logos and getting away with it. No spitting on the logos. That's
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Just like we said, just hoping that Alabama can put their best effort together on Friday because they're gonna need it. Just going in on the road, going into Norman in that hostile environment, and all just the noise that's been around the program over the last 2.5 weeks, whether it's coaching rumors or this team's play and stuff like that. A well-rounded performance on offense and defense and special teams that could definitely do wonders for this Alabama football team. So just hoping to see that this Friday in Norman.
Yeah, I mean it's just gonna be a fun ride for Friday night. I'm looking forward to the revenge matchup. It's just gonna be fun. Well, Travion, what have you got going on this week, man?
What I got going on? Doing some small traveling. I'm from Texas, so might be going home this after Friday. I'm trying to see if I can go out to Norman and see the game or not. I'm not sure. It might take a miracle for me to do that. If not, going to be doing some traveling this weekend back to Texas. See my family this weekend as we get closer to the holiday season. Other than that, just looking at just keeping my eye out on these college football matchups. Obviously Alabama and just the other matchups across the country, and also looking at the transfer portal that's heating up today. We saw some big name quarterbacks enter the portal, so just looking at it from that perspective. And other than that, nothing really. Just really just living life, and not really a lot of complaints. Just yeah, I'm doing all right.
There we go. Jeffrey, what have you got going on this week, man?
Definitely, me and Will and D are going to try to go live this week and do our predictions for all these games, probably all the bowl games and all the playoff games. And the portal madness is beginning. That's already
Man,
starting as well.
DJ Lagway, man.
Still think it's ridiculous that the portal happens now. It should be after the season. I think most people agree with that, but the academic calendar and all that stuff. It's ridiculous all this stuff goes on now. Like, we should be focusing on the games, but the portal's going on, so there's gonna be a lot to talk about with that. So it's gonna be exciting for that. Definitely, if you want to check it out, definitely appreciate it if you check out my channel, Only Talk Sports. Also follow me on X as well. I'm posting stuff all the time. And definitely subscribe to Alabama, Voice of College Football. We're gonna keep it rolling here, regardless of whether Alabama wins or loses to Oklahoma, regardless of what happens. We'll be covering it, and I think the future is still bright for Alabama, despite a lot of people out there. So definitely excited to keep covering Alabama football with you guys.
There we go, man. So tell your friends, family, and the cashiers a post about the magic that Travion is creating, all right there on TWare1K on /Twitter, and the magic that Jeffrey's creating on Only Talk Sports, all right there. And you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I've got numerous episodes of the Jackson coming up before this year ends and the new year's set up. And also you can check me out on SEC at the Voice of College Football, and more magic I've got coming up on Alabama at the Voice of College Football with Travion and Jeffrey. And for more updates, what I've got going on Alabama at the Voice of College Football, SEC at the Voice of College Football, the Jacksonian, Jackson's World College Football with Mountaineer Paul and Lockdown West Virginia, and once, twice a week calls on the Fine Ball Show. Check me on Jackson VOCFP on /Twitter and on Instagram. It's Jackson Jones 543-908, and I will change that Instagram handle. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we will be seeing y'all soon. And roll Tide.